À tous DDO, attention pour le décompte final. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, top. Allumage Vulcain. Allumage des EAP décollage. La propulsion est nominale.
And we are off. How wonderful to see the mighty Ariane roaring across that equatorial sky. Definitely a launch to savor. We are now over 1 minute into the flight as she powers her way into space, heading east out over the Atlantic Ocean. Raphael, Mathieu, a reaction?
It's hard to get tired of it, right? I mean,
it's amazing.
Look at this.
Yeah. I might be an engineer, but still I have emotions when I see that.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's amazing.
Like a ball of fire thrusting itself into
and we are extremely lucky because we can clearly see the rocket like blasting its way towards
Raphael,
space.
what do you have to tell us?
Well, I mean, everything is going to happen quite quickly now. You'll have in a few seconds the booster separations.
That's the first thing we have to look out for.
Yeah, they will have provided 90% of the overall thrust in order to literally escape the gravity pull of the Earth.
And with the clear sky, we'll see them well.
I hope so. I think we will. And then you will have the separation of the fairing when we have crossed the limits of the atmosphere. It's protected the satellite from the friction of the air, but also from the noise generated at the booster's ignition. And then we will have the separation of the main cryogenic stage. And here you can see the booster separation.
Yeah,
we see it so clearly.
We see it
so it's confirmed visually and also in our...
By the DDO.
By the DDO.
Brilliant.
And okay, so the sky is perfectly clear, so it's perfect conditions to
so,
see.
Mathieu, without these two boosters, the launcher is obviously now a lot lighter. So than it was at takeoff. Its load has been lightened by how many tons, and why is this necessary, even essential? Does lighter mean faster?
Yeah, it was 775 tons on the launch pad. Now it's about 156 tons because we got rid of these empty boosters. Imagine that we managed to get rid of about 500 tons of propellant in about 2 minutes and 20 seconds. But this is the amount of energy that you need to go to space. And this is a principle. You get rid of any useless mass to provide maximum acceleration to the satellites. And now we've got fairing separation.
The fairing separation.
And we actually can see it, I think. So we have, again, visually the confirmation and also by the DDO.
That's brilliant news.
We can actually see the two halves of the fairing getting separated. That's magical.
Those images are incredible.
And this is the last time, by the way, we see the piece of art that was on the fairing.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Raphael. As you can see on the screen, computers are generating now perhaps CGI images for us to see what's happening. It will be coming up in a minute. We have 5 minutes, not now, because obviously the skies are so clear, we're seeing everything. We have 5 minutes now before our next milestone. So let's focus on our launcher, Ariane 5. Mathieu, I'm turning to you. Could we come back to the particularities of this heavy launcher? It is the reference in space transportation.
Yes. Internally, we call it the legend.
The legend.
the living legend. The living legend. I mean, for most of the engineers of my generation, somehow we grew up with this launcher, and personally, it directly inspired my career and my inspiration to go to space. But think about some of the missions it allowed. One in particular, in 2004, the launch of Rosetta, and that's how, for the first time, we managed to land
La
a probe
propulsion
on
est
a
nominale,
comet.
le pilotage
So
est
that's
calme.
really what it's able to do. Or we service the space station 5 times with the automated transfer vehicle. Again, I mean, Ariane is almost a member of any of the of our European families. And actually, Raphaël spent Christmas with Ariane, right?
Yeah, it was last year, yes. I was lucky enough to be in French Guiana, and that was obviously a very, very emotional launch. It's very hard to describe the tension it was before the launch. Hard to describe also the tension released after we got the confirmation of the separation of the satellite, and we witnessed the deployment of the solar panel.
That must have been incredible.
In real time. It was really amazing. And it's also, I have to say, very hard to describe the admiration that I have for my colleagues, Arianespace, Ariane Group, and all the teams that were involved in this launch that made history for Ariane 5, I think.
Well, of course, tonight, Ariane 5 has 3 very special passengers on board. MTGI-1, the first imaging satellite of the Meteosat Third Generation program, and of course Galaxy 35 and 36, 2 communication satellites built by Maxar in California. Mathieu, what is the maximum number of satellites that Ariane 5 can carry? I've seen 1, 2...
Yes, a typical mission for Ariane 5 would be what we call a dual launch. And actually, the SILDA means dual launch system in French. But tonight we have 3 payloads because we're really capable of adapting this launcher to any needs. If you remember, too, we were able to deploy 4 Galileo satellites when necessary on Ariane 5. So that's really the philosophy I described, adapting the launcher to the customer's needs.
And with Ariane 6, we will have even more flexibility and versatility because there are some dedicated structures that are being developed under the fairing, for example, in order to accommodate small satellites. It's called the multi-launch service. We have dedicated carrying structures to deploy many satellites of a single constellation at a time in a single flight. So yeah, we gain lots of flexibility with Ariane 6.
A lot of things to come, and we're looking forward to that. Well, thanks for all those interesting souvenirs and fun facts. The next important step will be the cutoff of the main core stage, the extinction and the ignition of the upper stage.
Yeah, the ignition of the upper stage is absolutely key for the rest of the mission, and it's always a bit tricky to actually ignite liquid stage in the emptiness of space.
I imagine.
Yeah.
Yes, we're going to go through a series of events, and as you can see, it's really going really fast. First, of course, the cutting off of the main stage that's propelled by the Vulcan 2.2 engine. 2.1 is for Ariane 6, sorry.
La propulsion est nominale, le pilotage est calme.
Yeah, and everything's nominal. The separation of the upper stage
Acquisition
from
de
the
la
stage.
télémesure par la station natale au Brésil.
Yes, and then the ignition of the stage. And as you said, it's technically it's very challenging. It's not like igniting a cryotechnic stage on the ground. You have to do it in space with very, very particular thermal conditions. And of course, you're in 0G, so your propellant might go everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Mathieu. Now we're waiting for Tamara Tezelé, the Range Operations Director, to confirm the next important steps of the mission. So we have...
La propulsion est nominale.
So that's an important information. Everything is going nominal.
Well, that
the
is
trajectory is
very
nominal.
important.
The launcher is behaving like it was planned.
Behaving well.
So it's very important.
And I cannot believe that the sky was so clear that we could see.
I know, we still haven't kind of quite got over that. That was wonderful. Well, we are now looking forward to the cryogenic main core stage cutoff.
Yep.
And then there is a series of we'll lose the signal at Galileo, the cryogenic main core stage separation.
Yes.
Do you have any news in your earpiece?
We were waiting for
the
the
3D
confirmation.
images are showing.
Séparation EPC.
Okay.
So it's confirmed. The separation of the main stage is confirmed, and we are waiting for
Allumage ESC.
Wow.
what was
Okay.
just said, the ignition of the upper stage. So that's a very important step.
We're halfway there.
Yeah,
So all going
we're going
according
there.
to the plan.
So far, so good.
Yeah.
All is going to plan. Well, I'm very happy about that. Well, Ariane is heading for a geostationary orbit 36,000 kilometers from Earth. Is this a fairly standard mission for you? What is at stake
Well, I mean,
tonight?
we are used to launch in geostationary orbit, but every mission is very unique. It's The satellites are different, the trajectory is slightly different, the performance of the launcher is different. And it's years of work for all the team, for the satellite team, for the manufacturing of the satellite, the launch contract signature, typically 2 years before the launch, and then all the mission preparation, especially on the launcher side.
Yes,
La propulsion est nominale, le pilotage est calme.
Yeah, it's only a 40 minutes launch, but of course it took years and months of preparation upstream, and you only see the accomplishment and the result of a lot of things that were manufactured, integrated perfectly.
Well, congratulations to all your teams. Thanks. We will continue to follow this mission very closely until the separation, which we're all waiting for.